And welcome back to the hottest marriage show in podcast universe. Doing too much. How you doing this morning?
Pretty good.
That's awesome. Since the last time we've performed an episode, so much has changed, but I wanted to specifically go on the COVID experience this household had, and kind of wanted to touch on that this morning before we got anything, because that was an experience within itself. But most importantly, you were the orchestrator of making sure everybody was good. So I wanted to get your take on the COVID experience.
Yeah, it was a nightmare. So it was a wave. So we had one kid go down, and then a week later, no, it wasn't even a week later. It was like 4 days later, you went down.
Yeah.
And then Dallas went down a week later. So the first one, they went down and she was experiencing symptoms before, but it didn't make me feel like it had to be COVID. I guess because I feel like we've gone through 2 years of this pandemic and we have not been touched. We try our best to stay away from everybody. We stay masked up and all this other stuff that they tell us to do. And if there's one person that's trying to stay away from everybody, it is Day.
Mm-hmm.
And she was the first one. So she was sick. We kept her home because we don't, I think we talked about before, we don't send people to school if they don't feel well. And so in the least bit. So we kept her home, and then she tested negative, and then we tested her again. She tested positive. No, I tested.
She just tested.
Yeah, I was taking her to the pediatrician because I was like, I don't know what's going on. And I got her tested before we went to the pediatrician. She tested positive.
And then we all tested.
Yeah, and then we all tested negative. And then like 4 days later, John tested positive. And then I was like, oh, God. So we got this lag. So we're all trying to like stay away from everybody. And Dallas and Darius, they test negative. And then 7 days later, Dallas tests positive. So it was like, everybody kind of overlapped by a week when we did the isolation and everything. And I was just hoping not to get anything. Y'all, it's hard to keep people in rooms and clean bathrooms when you have to share certain bathrooms, and making sure everybody is eating. You realize how much people eat because you are going back and forth to everybody's door with water and food and snacks. And it was the ultimate like disrespect. And the Darius talking about, can we just take the dog and go to a hotel and let them work it out? No, we can't abandon the family. So it was a lot. I'm glad that wave is over.
What's so crazy is that when you make that comment, that I don't think he really believed that COVID was real, because he was really trying to get it. Like, I remember when Kanika was like, all right, nobody comes out of the rooms. When you were in the room, you were stuck in the room unless you were taking a shower, but that meant everybody was gone, so you didn't have to worry about the interaction.
Mm-hmm.
But Darius is coming in my room, and like he was just doing some of the craziest things. And then when Dallas got it, he was all in Dallas' room.
He walked in Dallas's room. Dallas sent me a message on the phone because Dallas was only communicating by text or yelling through the door. And he said, can you please explain to Darius how COVID is spread? He just walked in my room. And I was just laughing because I'm like, this boy just came off of having COVID.
Yeah, I think because the way that Darius had it, I don't think he had the symptoms that made him feel like that it was real.
Yeah.
Because he was just, I don't know, he was just playing with it.
He was playing with fire.
He was.
It was like, I don't think I can get it. But you know what I recall, not long after that, he was playing rough with Kingston. Kingston was growling like, I've never heard him growl like that before. And so you were like, hey, if he bites you in the face, like, you need to move, you need to stop doing that or whatever. He was like, I don't even think it will hurt. It's like he'd be like, let me see.
Yes, this dude said, I don't even think it would hurt.
Let me see if I can get this new level of COVID. Let me see if I can get bit in the face. Let's just try whatever.
Yeah,
because I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah, he's definitely walking aimlessly through life without a care. But I also wanted to talk about it. Those of you that don't know, our birthdays passed, and I was in COVID protocol. It was crazy. Like, her birthday is on the 1st and mine is on the 2nd. And the way that we celebrated was like, it was the closest we could ever be, yet the farthest we could ever be in comparison to the previous years.
Yeah, this was the 3rd year we weren't able to be with each other for our birthdays. Yeah. So we Zoom called
the first night.
The first night. The second night, he went to sleep.
I went to sleep because I don't know what happened, but you ended up being busy.
Just know he went to sleep.
It wasn't on purpose. It was on my birthday, so that's what I wanted for my birthday.
You can do whatever you want. Okay, fine. So yeah.
Yeah. So that birthday was it was cool, but it was like, wow, I can't believe that I'm this close yet I'm so far away. But I wanted to say, this was an experience I've never had with with any other illness I've ever had. I started out, I guess you could say, I had the chills. What else? I couldn't taste, and then
aching.
Yeah, the aching was real bad. Like, I was in the bed 46 out of the 48 hours, and my back started hurting. It was so long. And then when I thought I was coming out of it, I started to get some other symptoms, and then I started I started to get congested, and then a cough. It was literally, it may have taken a total of 14 days for me to feel like I was okay, but then I still didn't feel okay because I felt like I still couldn't taste. That was weird. But, I never felt like I was 100%.
Yeah.
Typically when you get the flu or something, if your nose is running, you'll still go to work. But I just felt like I've never felt this type of effort, to try to get past a illness.
I almost made it out, though. I was supposed to be in Florida.
Oh, yeah, that is crazy.
And everybody got sick, and I couldn't go. And so this is what I had to deal with. Aching bodies, trying to see if heat works, if ice works, if medicine works, if biofreeze works. Fighting all of y'all symptoms. And I was supposed to be in sunny Florida.
Yeah, that was the week before the birthdays.
Yeah, it was.
And that was I felt so bad too. It was man, but you didn't come out any money, did you?
No, I was able to get they give you the ticket. You can just reserve another flight later on in the year.
Yeah, so at least you got an opportunity to stick, because Michigan will still be cold in May.
That's so sad. But yeah. So we had body aches, loss of taste and smell, and cough and congestion. Dallas was the nastiest cough ever. Day was aching all the time.
Yeah, she missed 3 weeks of school.
Yeah, she did. This girl was trying to go to school and asked her dad to walk her. And then what did her legs buckle when y'all started walking?
No, we stepped outside and I was like, even if I walked her to the bus, I don't know how far she was going to get after that. I was like, you shouldn't be going to school at all. Go back inside the house.
Yeah.
And, she had this big trapper keeper, so it was like.
Oh, yeah. They only weighs 85 pounds.
Yeah, and the trapper keeper's 47. So.
She's so strong. Yeah, she came in and it was over.
Yeah, so that was definitely an experience. I will say this. if you would have gotten sick, I don't know what. I think we would have just kind of just, what is it called when you
Fall off a cliff.
no.
Y'all should have seen his hand. That's what it looked like.
No, I'm saying like when everybody gets it and you just
yeah.
no, when like
So we just shut down.
no, when everybody gets the disease, like casualties, like if you die, you die, but everybody who makes it, it's called herd immunity or something.
A herd immunity is when everyone around you is immune and it
I know
saves you from getting sick.
No, I'm saying it's just because everybody decided to get it.
Oh, like when people used to get chicken pox.
Yeah,
and
so
you would just
everybody
give everybody so that
no. I'm just saying. No, I'm saying like that's what I thought herd immunity was, when everybody gets it and those who make it, it's like it builds the immune system for everybody else. Like
that's kind of survival of the fittest. And,
correct.
Yeah. No, herd immunity is when the herd or the group around you are all vaccinated or immune, and so it protects you because they're less likely to carry it to you. So if you're not, usually in the idea of vaccinations, like if there are kids who aren't vaccinated, but they go to school, mostly kids who are vaccinated, you figure that it's a less likelihood that the kids will carry that sickness to the school and infect your kid who's unvaccinated. That was the idea.
No.
The herd is safe, so you are safe because the herd around you is safe.
Yeah.
Vaccinations don't really make you safe. It just makes you safer.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the intent. I think everybody,
because we're all vaccinated. It just didn't even matter.
Well, it did.
It did. No, yeah, it did matter because the way that they suffered, I could only imagine if their immune system had never experienced it, what those first few days would have been like with the body trying to figure it out. So yeah, the vaccination worked as in helping. I mean, it did what it was supposed to do. I think people think vaccinations are supposed to keep you from getting it, but it's not.
I couldn't imagine if I didn't have whatever, because I'm telling, like I said, I've never had that experience before.
Yeah,
and that was tough. But I was thinking like, no, if you had it, then Darius was just going to be a part of the herd. Like he's going to have to just get it because we had to operate, right? Like. If 4 people got COVID, like what are we gonna do?
We just walk around the house having COVID.
Like what? We was gonna wear a mask.
Well, yeah. So yeah.
I'm just saying, like we couldn't just let Darius take care of us.
It'd have been a hot mess. Oh my gosh.
That's that's the herd immunity aspect I was saying. He's just gonna have to figure
Darius will mess around and be like, I have to run to the store to go get us some food. Darius, you would not get in the car and go get anything.
Are you silly?
Anyway.
Yeah. But that was an experience for sure.
Yeah, COVID in the house.
Yeah. So anything else happen or exciting over the COVID break that you want to discuss with anybody?
No.
Yeah, y'all know, just to let y'all know, I made some parts in my wife's hair.
Oh, yeah, okay. So my locks, I've been taking care of my locks since we got back from Abu Dhabi a few years ago. And, you know, sometimes I don't take care to have the mirror so I can see that my parts are all straight. I just grab the hair the best I can. I'll be like, this feels like a square. And I wrap it. Well, I had a lot of loose hair. And so armed with a YouTube video and a crochet needle, he and I tackled my hair, and it's been holding up pretty well. Like you really did a good job with crocheting the loose hair into the locks. So that was new.
Well, I know that next time I'll be a lot better because I have a better idea of how to do it, and I just want y'all to know it's just one of those things where I said that it was going to help me become a better husband. Because if I get really good at this, she don't have to go out anymore unless she just wants to go out. And I'm pretty sure anybody would love to have an in-house loctician.
Oh, Lord. It reminds me of that couple. It's the black couple on Instagram. I love this couple. And it's this man. He takes such care, gentle care, in taking care of his wife's afro. Her afro is beautiful. And he picks her hair with such care. There was even a video of him teaching his son how to do it. And I mean, the gentle care in which he used. It was just beautiful. And I was like, this dude, he was snatching my head. Like, it wasn't gentle and beautiful, y'all. But
Oh, really? I was snatching it?
oh my God, yeah. Some of the stuff he was really, when you were like,
well, if you don't tell me.
I know. I did tell him at one point. He was
one
like,
time,
oh, okay.
Because
he was getting on that edge. And I was like, oh my God. My edges. Help. So, but you did a good job. Thanks.
Well, I plan to do a better job soon. So I don't know if I told anybody this, but I have been going to therapy, and I do that like once a week. I'm able to contact them throughout the week, and at first I didn't feel like I understood. I think I might have understood the most of what therapy's supposed to do, because I really thought I was giving the worst version of me, but I was just telling them how I was looking. I was looking at life, so even the worst version of me is still looking at the optimism. And me telling Kanika how my conversations are going, she was like, I need to be in there.
Wait, no, because I did not debo into his session. He asked me to come, and I was kind of like apprehensive, because my thing is that's your space. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to take up your time. I need my therapy time throughout the week. So, so I was like, I'm not going to do that. So this dude was telling me what he was talking about. He was like, it's not really helping. I said, well, I don't think you telling the whole story. I get up in there and he was like, thank you for giving me a different perspective.
But even I'm saying like your eyes are your eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you were to describe your eyes and what you're seeing, you would think that was probably the end of the world. But like you could make, I'm sure, a sunny day with flowers growing look sad or look stressful if you decided to do what you did to me.
Yeah, that's true. So this is the thing, though. I look at the situation, and I am always looking at what can be a heavy weight on somebody, and how does that, and it helps me to kind of soften how I interact with people when I'm thinking about, and you can't always tell what people are going through. But I do believe that people who live a life that was high stress beginning in their childhood and even moving up, you get a tolerance for stress and strain. And then it doesn't really feel like you're dealing with anything, but you're dealing with everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to put this shameless black woman plug in here. I feel like black women deal with that a lot. I feel like we juggle a lot of things. And because we're used to juggling a lot of things, then it doesn't look like much to other people and it doesn't seem like much. But in reality, to the mere humans of the world around us, it's some real bull. Like, that's some real weight, but we be holding on to it. That little whole idea of, I was watching this thing on Instagram with this girl, this woman, she said, I do not want you, she said, it's not a compliment for you to call me a strong black woman. She said, because nobody comes to help someone who they feel is strong. And so I used to say it all the time. I was like, I like the songs about independent women, but I don't assign, I'm not with it. I'm not trying to be it. But the idea is like, yeah, I could carry the world on my shoulders, and doing it so long, you start to look like that's just how you do it. Like Louisa, we were watching Encanto. Is that how it's called? Encanto or Encanto? Mm-hmm. The new Disney movie. And the sister Louisa is like super strong. But then when she sings the song, something about pressure, and it's just like, yeah, like I got all this pressure, and like, when y'all aren't looking, I'm dying inside, but y'all need me.
Yeah.
So I gotta stand strong, and I gotta keep this party going and be what y'all need me to be. And I think that's what we do all the time. And bringing it back to the conversation, I think in talking to you about your experiences in childhood and in adulthood, you've dealt with a lot of stuff. And so your tolerance level is hella high. So when you go in there, you be like, it's not, I don't really feel like I'm really that stressed. But mentally sometimes we can feel like we're not that stressed because we've built up that tolerance. But other parts of our body that we don't pay attention to, they show it. your blood pressure might be a little bit higher, or you might sleep and can't quite get that good sleep that you want. You ache. You can't figure out why. You know what I'm saying? So your body's gonna tell you regardless, even if your mind you've convinced yourself I can handle it, so it must not be that bad. I don't agree. So yeah, I went up in there, and I didn't go in there and bogart the whole thing and just try to make him sound like the worst thing in the whole entire world. But just to give some perspective of someone that's watching from the outside and how it spills out even when you're not paying attention. That was all I did.
Well, like I told you, it was interesting to listen to. Somebody else, if y'all get a chance, married people, long relationship folks, people that are interested in continuing the journey of relationships, pick a situation in your life and allow the other person to describe what they think they saw. And just listen and see how much same language or different language you guys use. And I think that'll give you kind of an idea of how they view the world, especially in something of concern. Like, she's concerned about my well-being, so it was like, I thought it was extra exaggerated, but that's extra exaggerated if I were to say all of those things. But your language is very, descriptive, and it kind of it did put things in a perspective, but I think that it just allowed you to see how easier my life is now, as far as that I can actually look at those things, or the way that I look at them, because to me, I really believe that I'm in the best place I've ever been, and I could see the things that it built that strength that you said to be able to carry this weight, but the weight is deceiving.
Heck yeah.
No, I'm saying it's deceiving. It's not as heavy as it looks.
I know, because you have a high tolerance.
No, I just think that you bring the best out of me, so I'm able to perform better in things around me.
Okay.
That's the whole point of, well, that's one of the points of this podcast, is to show how we're trying to communicate to each other, where we can bring the best out of each other when we're not even around. So I know that she was looking out for me, and she was concerned. So we'll see where it goes from the therapist. I met with him yesterday, and he was like, I believe he remembered everything, But I think overall it was just be open to, if you're saying something, don't feel like you got to figure it out. And but I think that he likes the way that I view things.
Yeah, I'm sure. No shade. I'm sure you're very optimistic, very positive.
They say that the energy attracts you attract the energy that you give out. So if I could unconsciously just speak like that, I just feel like it'll just all change, and then the negative things we'll be able to pick the good things out of it and keep it moving. At least that's what I want to do for you.
Okay, we'll see.
No, so another thing, since the last time, I had recently acquired a new profession, and it was a challenge, but it's uncomfortable challenge, because I didn't get to complete everything, because there's so many things that I believe was going on. Just to give you guys an idea, I definitely had a debate with myself if I'm making excuses or if things are preventing me from being who I am. So I asked my wife, is my personality different from what it used to be? She said, yes, it is.
Oh my God. If y'all knew him before, he's so ridiculous at this point. Like, the ability or the lack, the inability to have fun, y'all. Like John used to be fun and games, and now it's like, no, I can't watch those shows. That's my reward for completing my tasks. What are your tasks? Take over the world. Like, sir, you're not gonna do that tomorrow. Like, watch a show. So I started getting on him about not really being able to have fun. It's not fun to have a partner to go through life and you're so, when I say you're, I'm saying me, are more relaxed and just kind of want to go with the flow. And then you have somebody that is so driven that they can't even focus on like chilling for a minute. So it snowed, y'all. It snowed and I was like, let's go sledding. So we get these 13 and 14-year-old kids in snow pants and big old boots and coats, and we get in the car and we got the sleds in the trunk and we're heading over to my childhood neighborhood, and all of a sudden the snow just came flying out of nowhere and it was nothing but white in front of us.
Like real heavy snow. Like you would like, it was unbelievable to watch how heavy the snow got as we drove. And the more like so, you know, I just want y'all to know, Kanika really talks about the way that I drive. So now I'm feeling unsafe. In my head, I'm like, are we really going sledding?
I was still looking like we riding.
She's on her phone. So she, like, I can feel the street separate from the bottom of the tires. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, what are we doing? And then this is the craziest thing. So I just say, I think this is unsafe. And then, you know, Kanika was really like, we're still going. But the kids was like, I think it's kind of unsafe. Like, really? Like, we're going to die because we're going sledding.
Yes. And so then we ended up making, and we did a detour. We went and got ice cream instead and came home. And I was like, well, you know, where we live, there's a pretty big hill. So John has not sled before, I don't think. Okay. So we're currently in an apartment, and in the complex, you know how they'll shovel up all the snow. And so when they shovel up the snow, it makes these big old mounds of like snow and ice. So we come out. Now there is a huge hill just toward the front of the complex. And I was like, we can just go sled out here just to experience it. We go out, and John, being the child who's never sled, he goes to the big old icy, snowy mound, and he just starts sledding down this hard ace mound of ice, him and Dallas. And I'm just like, this can't be fun. It's not even fun. So I was like, hey, why don't we go down there to the hill with the snow? And he was like, oh, I didn't even know. Well, they definitely sled for a good amount of time. It looked like he was having a great time.
It was good. I've never done it. It was very tiring.
John was in his snow pants too. And what are your boots called?
My boots.
Yeah, I thought they look like the moon boots we used to have when we were in school. We called them something 180s.
It made 180s. Hey, look, I had a friend who had those shoes. He had Jordans and he had the MA 180s, and he wore them when he got out of school, and we talked about him like he was poor, but he the only one with Jordans. I am not lying.
I promise kids are stupid.
Stupid.
But anyway.
He was like, he got 2 new pair of shoes, and he's playing in some cheap shoes, and we talking about them.
Why ain't you out here tearing up your expensive
Oh,
shoes?
my God, we're so stupid.
Because you're poor.
But, you know, I really had a good time. What's so crazy what she was telling y'all have no idea. These mounds, y'all know when they push the snow and the mounds on the side of the street. So
yeah.
it was like 3 feet of
Yeah. Like, it's like when you get on there, you go, shh, and then you're at the bottom of the hill.
Oh my God.
I was like, really hey, y'all don't want to go over there to like the big hill with like snow?
And you know, because I had never gone sledding, so I never considered that the hill. And then I was like, oh, that's what you were talking about.
Yeah. The hill in my childhood neighborhood is much bigger. But Yeah. And what makes it so bad is like I forced everybody into the car to go sledding. And when we got back, the 14-year-olds both walked directly into the house. I was like, wait, we're going sledding out back. And they just looked at me.
Yeah, it was over with.
And politely took their stuff off and went on about their business. But for like a good 20 minutes, John was able to have fun.
So I will say that. But that's the type of fun that I feel like I can be more active with because I'm training myself to not try to learn something from the moment, just to be present.
Yeah. So tired of that. What can we learn from this moment? But what can be better? I was like, I don't give a flying. Can we just experience it for a minute?
So those of you that watch basketball and how they talk about analytics or any sports. So I have approached life the analytical way, and my wife is like, just live life, and we'll get to there when we get there. And I'm like, no, I don't.
You don't always have to think.
Yeah, I know, and I'm just trying to figure out what parts not to think about because I hadn't thought, constructively, when I was younger. So just making sure that at least I can get good enough to where my wife says, we're good. I know we don't know where we're going, but we're good.
Hey, John, we're good. Look, we're supposed to go skating tonight, and this man's probably going to talk to me about velocity of the skates. And
I will be present. Okay. See, me and Dallas talked about that. It was like, today's Wednesday, we're supposed to go skating. And he was like, really? Like, it's crazy. Like, I'm excited. So, yeah, I'll definitely be present. I'm going to be present more often because I want to be. I want to enjoy the moments.
All right.
Are you? Do you think that you're present most of the time?
Yeah. When I get into like when we're doing, I'm present in whatever I'm doing, and whoever is around me and involved in it, I ain't present with you. So I like to scroll through my Instagram. Yes, I do. Y'all have so many collections like, home renovations, by room, and it's a lot of different things that I look at and I really appreciate. Like, I don't just look through, I do look through Instagram to laugh, but like I'm super, super tuned into what I'm doing, and people around me will be talking, and I don't know what you're talking about because I'm into what I'm doing. But like last night we were playing a card game with the family and I was fully in. Like, I was fully engaged. Now, Darius, whenever it wasn't his hand, he went and sat down and was on the phone talking to somebody else.
So do you know how that part of me where we're trying to figure out, like, I feel like, is this the time where I'm supposed to be like, this is unacceptable? We're playing this because you wanted to, and you weren't even, like, engaged or being present.
That's the truth. Now, John, but, the last few days, John's been off the hook, like.
No, but I'm just saying, like, that moment, I don't need him to remember, like, this is okay. But I had to let him think that was okay.
Well, I did say something at one point. Like, dude, we didn't even ask to play this game. You did.
I know, but it's like, why couldn't I be able to say it where because, he would have went like this. He would have gave me that.
Yeah, he would have gave a look on his face. Like, it's like when John says something, Darius be looking like he's ready to be mad, and then I can say the same thing, and he'd be like, oh, and he'll like laugh or smile because I'm not trying to fight. You be talking like you trying to fight, and Darius talks like that too. Mm-hmm. That's why most of the time they in Dallas be ready to fight him.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, he's at least he's becoming aware of it now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I hope, because Lord knows it took me 40 years to become aware of how I was talking to people, and I'm still working on it.
If anybody knows him, this is true.
I really do enjoy growing, though. But it's disappointing when you grow. You know how when you grow and then you look back and like somebody says, hey, John, I'm so proud of you. You're like, damn, was I that bad?
Yes. Look, I'm like, John, I never thought you would be. Yeah. And then you were like, dang, what did you think I would be?
No. Like, I don't know, but.
A clown.
But I had these people around me. When I say these people, I mean my friends and people that I interacted with on a regular basis, or people I didn't see very often, but when I saw them, everybody seemed like that they were happy for me. They was like, he's doing these things. So I felt like that was the type of life you're supposed to be, to do those things. So, you know, when I look back and I'm like, oh, so I was just a show for them. They didn't really know that I was like work in progress, trying to figure it out.
This dude was the opening act, the main attraction, the closeout. He was like the whole show.
But they didn't see that. And they didn't see what happened in the dressing room. Yeah.
Ugh.
Well,
it's exhausting. But go ahead.
No, it's not exhausting. For who? You?
Yeah. Yeah, I was tired.
Tired from what? I feel like I'm more effective now.
You are. But you like ran all the life out of me in the beginning, so now I just be.
Now, are you telling me
I'm
that? I'm
trying to re-up right now.
Are you telling me now that I have stressed you out and now you're super strong and you don't know why you know strong?
Look, I used to work with this woman in Abu Dhabi, and she was one of the Arabic teachers. And I will never forget this, y'all. I was sitting on the couch in the teacher's office. We all shared a huge room, and it had some couches or whatever. So I'm sitting there in the morning, and a roach crawled onto my abaya. When I say I jumped up and screamed, and the roach flew into my bag next to me. You want to talk about something being even worse? Oh. So I grabbed the bag and I'm like screaming because a roach was on me. I've never had no. So I was like shaking the bag, trying to get it out, but making sure that it wasn't going to fling onto me. I'm screaming. And, you know, the women, they've seen them before, so they're not as pressed as me, obviously. So they take me into this back room and they're like trying to calm me down because it was close to my face, y'all. It was like my hand. My hand was listen. My hand was by my face. So when I looked down at my sleeve, it was coming for me, right? So I was visibly upset. So the biology teacher, she takes the roach and takes it outside. They said, Kanika, Ibtisam got rid of it. It's all gone. It's gone. And I was like, oh my God. And then Klaus said, Kanika, why you no strong? And I said, I am strong. That's a roach. But now, every so often, we quote it Klaus. Say, why you no strong? And I was not strong. But right now I'm not strong.
I don't remember that story sounding that entertaining.
Hey, it was so horrible. And two kids that I couldn't stand them, and I know they couldn't stand me either. They happened to be in there talking to another teacher. I know they was laughing their head off. But I was like, But you know what? Y'all can't ask me that because when we were in a meeting, a stray cat came in there and all the women are, oh. And so I used my feet to kind of just guide the cat back out of the room because we used to leave the doors open. It's just like wide open school. It's like an open breezeway school. And so they were all screaming about a cat. I'm talking about a roach. I'm talking about something that does not die. And roaches have been around since the beginning of time, y'all, and it's still not dead. Like,
so
why?
What does that mean? Probably we need them.
I don't know why we need them, but the fact that was crawling on my arm close to my face, but y'all scared of
what if it was
an
ant though?
If it was an ant.
So because you know why? So tell me why you so scared of a roach? Because of what?
Because a roach, because idea of your
childhood taught you what?
No,
about roaches.
Because I remember people used to say like, don't ever step on a roach because what if it's pregnant and then you carry the eggs into your house and then all the roaches are gonna grow in your house?
Oh, I ain't never heard of that.
Oh my God. And and it's just the idea that, you know, to have roaches in your house, it was the idea that your house was dirty.
Oh, I know.
And my mom was like crazy about so the idea of us having a roach in our house, it just was always like, oh my God, that means that your house is dirty. And it could just mean that your neighbors are dirty, or it could just mean, you know, there's whatever the case may be. But for me, as for me and my house, no. So yeah, that roach took me over the edge, but wasn't no fuzzy cat gonna do that. The cat was just walking around and I'm like, okay, well, let me get this cat out of here.
Do you know, in their eyes, their perspective, maybe like she's scared of this little thing, but this big thing come in here she's not scared of.
Yeah, Cats roam Abu Dhabi like it ain't nothing.
They do.
Y'all done seen these mugs. I don't see roaches just hanging out. You see cats hanging out all the time.
Oh yeah. They're definitely regular. If you see, I guess the stigma of roaches is that in the black community.
Heck yeah. And so that's why I was trying to get them to understand. I said, look, here, y'all might be all right. Because Ibtisam just took that little roach and took it on outside. And I was like, oh, nah. That not I, said the cat. That mug would have been
smashed.
Oh my God, with something that wasn't my shoe. But yeah, it's that is why I was no strong. But I am like right now, yeah, I'm just reading up my energy. I'm really tired. I think that really I'm tired right now just because we're coming off of COVID. The kids we're back in school, and then we got early releases and days off and all this other stuff. I'm not, I can't catch my breath. That was what that Orlando trip was supposed to be.
Hey, you can always get back on it because I'm out here very strong.
Sure.
No, but this was a pretty dope episode. Anything you want to, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
I want to give a shout out to my coworkers, Sumaye, Ibtisam, Miriam, Sarah, Linda, Klaus. Amira. I loved Amira. And Rain. None of them are listening to this, but
yet
I miss them. They used to say my sister all the time. That was some love over there.
Yeah,
Man,
it is. It's a different love, isn't it?
It is. So I miss them. Oh, and Esme, I miss her too. Because she used to make Kodak all the time, every day. And it's like this cardamom tea milk type of drink. Oh, it's so good. And then in the winter, she would make ginger milk. Ooh. Oh, my God. Anyway. So.
No doubt. Shout out to the United Arab Emirates for giving us the opportunity to meet wonderful people and experience a culture that has still impacted us today.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, with that being said, make today better than yesterday. Don't worry about anything you can't control. GATA. Get after that action, or that action will get after you.
Boom.